Hello, welcome again. In my last video, I told you how you can calculate your CRS score by yourself. So, I told you it is not a rocket science. You do not need to be a rocket scientist. You can do it yourself. It is nothing. So, you now know how to calculate your score. Now, I will show you most important thing which so many people struggle with because they do not know how to prepare their documents. They think that they're dependent upon someone who knows it, otherwise they cannot solve this problem. So but this is nothing. Getting your document ready is nothing. You can do it yourself. This is not a rocket science either. So how you understand what to do? Just to do that, you just click on here, get your documents ready. Okay, click on here, then you're in right here I show you what are the things you need to do or you need to prepare, because this is the overview today and I will go through everything step by step in my upcoming videos, but today I will show you the brief overview of how to prepare your documents by yourself. Okay, so this is not a rocket science. I'm again assuring you. Okay, so what are the documents? So in your calculation of CRS score, you mentioned you did this education, you did this, you received this offer letter for job, or you have this kind of language test results. So so many things you have mentioned, but now it is time for you to prove them. Like you have to prove to CIC Canada that you actually belong in that category of thing, or you possess those documents to prove that yes, you are telling the truth. So what documents you need to prepare before you submit the documents? So a passport or travel documents. So everybody of you are familiar with what the passport is. It is the document that proves your citizenship with the country that you are affiliated with. So a passport. And if your passport is like going to expire within next 6 months, then you need to renew it. Okay, before you apply, you need to renew your passport, and you should have an expiry date longer than 6 months from now when you apply. Okay, so you must remember this. Otherwise you need to renew the passport. Okay, go to passport office and then renew it. If you do not have a passport which is like having 6 months more to match, like expire, if it is going to expire sooner, like 5 months or 4 months or 3 months or something, then you need to go and renew. And then also you need to prepare language test results. For example, if you took IELTS or TOEFL and also French language tests, there is an official document that shows the result. Okay, so you need to prepare that document. You need to collect the document from the testing provider. Like for IELTS, you have to go to their IELTS provider, or for TOEFL provider, and collect those documents from the appropriate authority. Okay, and then proof of Canadian education or an educational credential assessment report for immigration purposes. If you are applying through the federal skilled workers program, or you want to get points for the education you got outside Canada. So if you have a certificate which is from Canada, you do not need to make an EC or educational credential assessment, because this is already a Canadian degree. But if you have a degree that is obtained from outside Canada, for example, if you have taken your education from India, Pakistan, Bangladesh, like Bhutan, or like Malaysia, or anywhere else, or like from any other country, then you need to do the assessment. You need to do the educational credential assessment report you have to collect, and that report will prove that you have a degree which will be converted into Canadian equivalency for your points. But if you have a Canadian degree, that will add more points for you. So like you have to do an assessment if the degree is obtained from outside Canada, and also if you have taken a degree from Canada, then also you need to prepare the certificate and transcript, so that you can show to the IRCC that you do have that degree to make your points calculated. Okay, and then written job offer from an employer in Canada, if you have one. So if you have a Canadian job offer it may add to your CRS score. So you need to have, or it may help you immigrate, or if it may help you to get a provincial nomination. So you need to offer that job letter from an employer in Canada if you have any. Okay. And then proof of work experience, if you have proof of work experience or if you have work experience, it will add to your CRS score. You already know that. So you need to have a proof of work experience, like letter of employment. And in that letter of employment, it has to be like NOC based. You have to prepare the letter of employment from your employer in such a way that matches with the NOC criteria. I showed you how the NOC criteria is to be considered. So I told you in my previous videos. So do watch them if you have a little bit of knowledge lacking. So please go to that video and look at that video. Just make a good overview of that thing through the video, so that you understand how you need to prepare your proof of work experience. You need to have a proof that matches with NOC, so that your job experience is counted. Okay, because it has to match with the NOC, or National Occupational Classification of Canada, and it has to be from category of NOC categories 0, 1, 2, 3 for certain jobs. So you need to keep in mind those things. I showed you in my previous video, so you have to watch them to make an understanding. And then certificate of qualification in a trade occupation issued by a Canadian province or territory. So if you have a certificate of qualification in a trade occupation issued by a Canadian province or territory, it may help you to get provincial nomination. And I told you, if you have a provincial nomination, like a province nominates you for immigration, then you get 600 CRS points, which is a massive boost to your CRS score, and it will be automatically make you eligible for immigrating to that province. Okay, so you do have to collect that certificate from the Canadian province, so that you can prove that you have that certificate of qualification in a trade occupation. I explained those things also in my previous videos, so do watch them if you have any confusion or if you have any knowledge gap. And then proof of funds. You need to have a proof of fund, so that, for example, if you and also and I will show you what are the criteria or what are the eligibility of the proof of funds, like what are the things you have to understand and how to prepare proof of funds. Everything I will show you in upcoming videos, so do watch them in upcoming videos. So I'm just mentioning here that you need to collect proof of funds as well for for your documentation purpose. Okay, like how much money you have in your bank accounts, okay, and in other fundings or other funding options. Okay, and then police certificates. I will also show you in detail what about police certificate you have to consider and how to collect. Everything I will show you. I will discuss in my later videos, but you need to keep watching them, because if you watch them you will have a clear understanding. Okay, and provincial nomination. If a province nominates you for that province for provincial nomination program, then you get 600 points. Okay, so this is a crucial document that will add a massive score to your CRS score. So you need to collect that document as well. I will show you everything in my upcoming videos, but you have to watch them to understand, so that you get a clear view. So this is the overview. I will go step by step with each and everything in my upcoming videos, so do watch them. Okay, so thank you for watching today. Have a good day. Bye.